Have you ever looked down at your legs at the end of the day and thought, wait, when did my ankles turn into little balloons? Maybe your shoes feel tight by afternoon, your knees complain when you stand up, and your legs feel so heavy that walking across the room feels like climbing a hill. If you're over 60, it's tempting to shrug and say, well, I guess this is just old age. But what if that's not the whole story? What if your body isn't just getting old? What if it's missing raw materials? The raw materials that keep your joints gliding instead of grinding. The raw materials that keep your skin firm instead of fragile. The raw materials that help your legs move fluid instead of storing it like little water balloons. In this video, we're going to talk about 16 real foods, things you can find in an ordinary grocery store that can help ease swelling in your legs and ankles, support better circulation, and rebuild the collagen framework that keeps your legs feeling strong and steady. We'll break them into two powerful groups: potassium and circulation heroes, the foods that help your body release extra fluid and support your blood vessels; collagen builders, the foods that help your body rebuild the scaffolding of your joints, skin, and blood vessels from the inside out. Stick with me to the end, because I'll show you how to put these foods together into a simple day of eating that supports your legs without needing a single supplement pill. Let's start with the part you can feel every day: swelling and fluid. When you see swelling in your ankles, feet, or lower legs, your body is sending a polite but important message. Hey, I'm holding on to water I don't know what to do with. A big part of that message comes down to the balance between sodium and potassium. Sodium likes to pull water into your tissues. Potassium helps your cells push extra water out so your kidneys can filter it and send it on its way. In a perfect world, you'd get plenty of potassium from fruits, vegetables, beans, and certain nuts and seeds, and relatively less sodium from processed foods. But that's not the world most of us live in. Modern diets are often heavy on processed foods, salty snacks, and restaurant meals, and lighter on fresh, potassium-rich whole foods. The result? Puffy ankles, stiff, cramped muscles, a heavy feeling in the legs, and over time, extra strain on the heart and kidneys. Now combine that with another factor: collagen loss. After about age 60, collagen production can drop dramatically. Collagen is what gives your skin its firmness, your joints their padding, your blood vessels their flexibility. So if you're low on potassium and your body is struggling to make collagen, your legs pay the price. Fluid builds up in the tissues. Circulation becomes less efficient. Joints feel stiffer and more rusty. Skin bruises more easily and recovers more slowly. The good news? You can support both sides of this problem, fluid balance and collagen production, with food. Let's start with the foods that help your body let go of excess water while still being gentle on an older digestive system. We'll go through 8 foods the original video highlighted, but I'll add practical tips, cautions, and ways to actually use them in real meals. 1. Avocado, the creamy fluid balance booster. Avocado isn't just a trendy food. For older adults, it's almost like a nutrition insurance policy in a single fruit. It's rich in potassium, which helps your body push extra fluid out of your tissues. It also provides magnesium, which helps muscles relax after they contract. And its healthy monounsaturated fats slow digestion, helping your body absorb potassium gradually instead of in a sudden rush. How this helps your legs. Imagine the heaviness in your calves, the stiffness when you stand up, the feeling that your ankles are filled with sand. Part of that is your body holding on to fluid where it shouldn't. Potassium helps flip that switch. Practical ways to eat more avocado: mash half an avocado onto whole grain toast and top with a sprinkle of salt-free seasoning. Dice it into a salad with beans, tomatoes, and a squeeze of lime. Add slices to an omelet or scrambled eggs in the morning. Safety note: if you've been told to limit potassium, For example, because of kidney disease or certain medications, always ask your doctor or dietitian before adding high potassium foods like avocado regularly. 2. Steamed spinach, turning a good food into a great one. Raw spinach looks healthy, but it contains oxalates, natural compounds that can block some mineral absorption, including potassium. The clever trick? Light steaming. By steaming spinach for just a minute or two, you reduce the impact of oxalates. You unlock more of its potassium, iron, and magnesium. You make it easier for your body to actually use those minerals. How this helps your legs? Better potassium absorption equals better fluid balance. More iron equals better oxygen delivery to muscles. More magnesium equals fewer cramps. How to use it? Steam spinach until it just wilts, then drizzle with olive oil and fresh lemon juice. Stir it into soups or stews near the end of cooking. Add it to an omelet or frittata rather than eating it raw every time. Avoid boiling spinach for a long time. Most of the good stuff ends up in the water. Coconut water, a gentle electrolyte refill. Coconut water often gets marketed as a trendy drink, but its real strength is how quickly the body can absorb it. It's naturally rich in potassium and other electrolytes. It's mostly water, so it helps hydrate without feeling heavy. Historically, its electrolyte balance has even been compared to human plasma, which tells you how naturally compatible it is. Why it can help swelling. As we age, our sense of thirst can get weaker, and our bodies don't always hold hydration as well. That can lead to both dehydration and fluid retention at the same time. Coconut water can help gently correct that. How to use it? Choose unsweetened coconut water. No added sugars. Sip a small glass between meals rather than chugging it with food for better absorption. If you tolerate sodium well, a small pinch of sea salt can turn it into a natural electrolyte drink. Again, if you're on fluid restrictions or have kidney or heart issues, check with your healthcare team before adding this regularly. 4. White beans. Slow, steady support for your legs. White beans look humble, but they're quietly powerful. They contain a large amount of potassium in just one cooked cup. They're rich in fiber, which helps blood sugar stay steady. They release nutrients slowly, giving your body a stable supply over hours rather than minutes. Why that matters? Instead of dumping a huge load of potassium into your bloodstream, beans trickle it out, helping keep fluid balance stable throughout the day. That means less puffiness as the day goes on, fewer balloon ankles. By evening, more energy for walking and climbing stairs. How to use white beans. Cook them from dried beans when possible, so you control the sodium. Add them to vegetable soup with celery and carrots. Toss them into a salad with avocado and herbs. Mash them with garlic and lemon juice as a spread instead of mayonnaise. If you use canned beans, drain and rinse them well to wash off some of the extra sodium. 5. Watermelon. Sweet hydration with circulation benefits. Watermelon is basically edible hydration, about 90% water, which helps you stay hydrated. Contains potassium and a compound called citrulline, often misheard as citrine, that supports blood vessel relaxation. Why this matters for your legs? Relaxed, flexible blood vessels equals better blood flow. Better blood flow equals less pooling of fluid in the lower legs and better nutrient delivery to your muscles. Some research suggests that regular watermelon intake can help modestly lower blood pressure and support circulation over time, especially as part of an overall healthy diet. How to use it? Enjoy a bowl of watermelon cubes as part of a snack with a protein or healthy fat, like a handful of nuts or a little cheese, to prevent a sharp sugar spike. Don't throw away all the white rind. If you blend some of it into a smoothie, you're likely getting more citrulline. 6. Celery, the boring vegetable with surprising power. Celery looks plain, but it's more than crunch. It contains potassium for fluid balance. It has natural compounds called phthalates, which can help blood vessels relax. It's very low in calories and high in water. Some studies suggest that celery's compounds may help gently support blood pressure and circulation when it's part of a balanced diet. How this feels. People who use celery consistently often report less ankle puffiness, less feeling of tightness around socks, a bit more comfort standing for longer. How to use celery. Eat it raw with hummus, nut butter, or cottage cheese. Slice the stalks and throw them into soups and stews. Use the leafy tops in salads or broths. They're especially rich in beneficial plant compounds. Juicing celery is popular, but you'll lose valuable fiber that helps your digestion and blood sugar. Eating it whole is usually more helpful. 7. Apricots. Tiny fruits with big potassium. Apricots, especially dried ones, pack a significant amount of potassium into a small serve. How they help: support fluid balance and muscle function. When soaked, they're gentler on your teeth and easier to digest. They can be a smart alternative to pastries or sugary snacks that worsen inflammation and fluid retention. How to use them: soak a few dried apricots overnight in water. This softens the fruit, dilutes the sugar concentration. Add them to oatmeal, yogurt, or a small morning bowl of mixed fruit. Pair with a sprinkle of cinnamon, which may support blood sugar and kidney function in some people. Again, watch portion sizes if you need to manage blood sugar carefully. 8. Pistachios, crunchy, potassium-rich leg support. Unsalted pistachios are high in potassium, a good source of healthy fats, rich in fiber and antioxidants. They're especially useful as a replacement for salty, refined snacks, chips, crackers, etc., that add sodium without nutrients. Why they help? Potassium helps your body release extra sodium and water, which can reduce that foggy, heavy sensation in your legs. When you pair pistachios with water, you're giving your kidneys a gentle nudge to keep things moving. How to use them? Choose raw or dry roasted, unsalted pistachios. Measure out a small handful, about 30 grams, and enjoy with a glass of water as a mid-morning or mid-afternoon snack. Sprinkle them over salads or yogurt for crunch instead of croutons or sugary toppings. Use the leafy tops in salads or broths. They're especially rich in beneficial plant compounds. So far, we focused on how to get fluid moving and support circulation. Now, let's go deeper and talk about the structure that holds your legs together. Collagen. Collagen is basically your body's biological scaffolding. It keeps your skin firm and less prone to tearing and bruising. It cushions your joints and helps them glide. It supports the walls of your blood vessels so they're flexible rather than brittle. After 60, your collagen production can drop dramatically. You can't stop aging, but you can feed the system that still produces collagen. These next foods don't just supply protein. Many of them provide specific amino acids and cofactors your body needs to build collagen. Glycine, proline, hydroxyproline, vitamin C, vitamin A, zinc, copper, and more. Let's walk through them and how to use them in ways that fit a realistic lifestyle. 9. Egg yolks, collagen's underrated friend. Egg whites get all the protein credit, but egg yolks carry a lot of the collagen-supporting nutrients, glycine and proline, amino acids involved in collagen formation. Vitamins like A, D, E, K, plus some B vitamins. Healthy fats that help you absorb fat-soluble vitamins. Some observational research suggests that people who include whole eggs regularly can have higher markers of collagen metabolism and experience less joint stiffness over time, especially when the rest of their diet is balanced. How to use eggs for collagen support. Enjoy them soft-boiled, poached, or gently scrambled. Over high heat can oxidize fats and slightly degrade some nutrients. Pair them with vitamin C-rich vegetables like tomatoes, bell peppers, or lightly steamed spinach. Vitamin C helps your body convert proline into hydroxyproline, a key building block of collagen. If you've been worried about dietary cholesterol, Recent research shows the relationship between egg intake and heart health is more complex than we used to think. Talk to your doctor about what's safe for you personally. Number 10. Papaya, digestion helper and collagen ally. Papaya brings a double benefit. It's rich in vitamin C, essential for collagen synthesis. It contains an enzyme called papain, which helps break down proteins into smaller bits your body can absorb more easily. This is particularly helpful as we age because stomach acid and digestive efficiency often decline. How papaya supports your legs and skin. Better digestion of protein equals more raw material for collagen. More vitamin C equals better ability to assemble those materials into actual collagen fibers. Some studies suggest improved skin elasticity and comfort in the legs when people consistently eat vitamin C-rich fruits as part of a nutrient-dense diet. How to use papaya. Eat it raw and ripe, ideally on a relatively empty stomach, like in the morning or between meals. Squeeze fresh lime or lemon juice on top for an extra burst of vitamin C. Avoid heavily processed papaya, canned in syrup, or cooked with lots of sugar, which destroys much of the enzyme activity. 11. Chicken skin, collagen source, if prepared wisely. For years, many of us were told to peel off the chicken skin and throw it away. But nutritionally, that skin contains type 1 collagen, the most abundant form in your skin, bones, and tendons. Elastin and other connective tissue compounds that help tissues stay springy. Natural fats that can help you feel satisfied. The catch is preparation. Helpful ways to use chicken skin. Bake or slow roast chicken with the skin on, allowing some of the fat to render out. Avoid deep frying, which can create harmful compounds that damage collagen instead of supporting it. Use leftovers, including the skin, to make homemade broth. More on that in a moment. If you're watching your overall fat intake or have specific heart health instructions, you can still benefit by simmering skin-on chicken parts in broth and discarding excess fat after chilling the liquid. 12. Sardines. Tiny fish, big collagen and omega-3s. Sardines are one of the most underrated foods on the planet for seniors. You eat them with the skin and small bones, which are rich in collagen and minerals. They're high in omega-3 fats, which have anti-inflammatory properties and can support blood vessel health. Why this matters for your legs? Healthier blood vessels equals better circulation to your feet and calves. Less inflammation equals less joint stiffness and pain. Collagen plus minerals equals more support for bones and connective tissue. How to use sardines. Choose sardines packed in olive oil or water rather than refined seed oils. Mash them with mustard, lemon juice, and herbs and spread on whole grain toast. Flake them into tomato-based sauces or salads if you don't love the flavor straight from the can. If the smell bothers you, a quick soak in lemon juice before using them in recipes can help. 13. Bone marrow. Deep nutrition in a small spoon. Bone marrow is the soft, rich tissue inside large bones, like beef shanks. It contains collagen precursors, healthy fats, compounds like glycosaminoglycans, which help tissues hold water and stay cushioned. In traditional food cultures, marrow was treasured for rebuilding strength after illness or injury. How to use bone marrow. Ask your butcher for marrow bones, often labeled for soup or roasting. Roast them slowly until the marrow softens and turns almost jelly-like. Scoop small amounts onto whole grain toast, or stir into soups or stews for richness. You don't need a lot. Think of marrow as a concentrated food to use occasionally, not something to eat by the bowlful. 14. Gelatin, pre-digested collagen. Plain, unflavored gelatin is essentially cooked collagen. It contains a high proportion of glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline. Because it's pre-cooked, it's easier to digest, especially for older adults. Some clinical trials show that gelatin or collagen peptides can improve skin hydration and reduce some signs of joint discomfort over weeks of consistent use. How to use gelatin. Choose unflavored gelatin made from quality sources, e.g., grass-fed beef. Stir a teaspoon or two into warm water, tea, or coffee and let it dissolve. Make simple homemade fruit gels with real fruit and a small amount of honey instead of store-bought, sugar-heavy gelatin desserts. Think of this as a gentle, food-based way to increase collagen-building amino acids in your diet. 15. Liver. The nutrient powerhouse for collagen cofactors, liver, is one of the richest sources of vitamin A, crucial for skin and mucosal health, copper and zinc, important cofactors for collagen and elastin formation, glycine and other amino acids. In older adults, even small amounts of liver can significantly boost the nutrients needed to activate collagen synthesis, not just supply protein. How to use liver without hating it. Start small. Mix a little finely chopped cooked liver into ground meat for burgers or meatballs. Try liver pâté spread thinly on whole grain toast with lemon or pickles to balance the taste. Aim for 1 to 2 ounces once a week, not huge servings every day. If you've been told to limit vitamin A or have specific liver-related conditions, check with your doctor before adding this regularly. 16. Collagen-rich bone broth, the daily collagen drink. We've talked about bones and marrow separately. Bone broth brings it all together. When you simmer bones, especially with joints, cartilage, and a bit of skin, in water with a splash of vinegar for many hours, you extract gelatin, cooked collagen, pull out minerals like calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus, extract compounds like glucosamine and chondroitin, which support joint comfort. Some clinical trials in older adults show that regular collagen-rich broth or collagen peptides can improve joint comfort, skin firmness, and overall mobility. How to make and use bone broth. Use beef bones, chicken carcasses, or a mix. Include joints and cartilage. Add a splash of apple cider vinegar to help draw minerals and collagen out. Simmer gently. Don't boil hard for 12 to 24 hours. When it cools in the fridge, it should turn jelly-like. That's a sign of high gelatin content. Sip a small mug warm in the morning or use it as the base for soups, stews, and grains. Avoid highly processed store-bought broths that are mostly salt and flavorings with very little real gelatin. To make this real, here's an example day that weaves several of these foods together. This is just an illustration, not a prescription. Breakfast: soft-boiled eggs, including the yolk, steamed spinach with olive oil and lemon, a few slices of papaya with a squeeze of lime. Mid-morning snack: a small handful of unsalted pistachios, a glass of water. Lunch: salad with avocado, white beans, celery slices and leafy tops, mixed greens and tomatoes, dressing of olive oil, lemon, and herbs. A small bowl of fresh watermelon on the side. Afternoon: a small mug of warm bone broth, a couple of soaked apricots if your blood sugar allows. Dinner: baked skin-on chicken or a sardine-topped whole grain toast, steamed vegetables of your choice. Optional: a little gelatin-based fruit jelly for dessert. You don't have to eat all of these in one day. Even adding 2 or 3 of these foods consistently, while cutting back on heavily processed, high-sodium foods, can start to tip the balance toward less swelling, better circulation, more comfortable joints, and stronger, more resilient skin. If you're over 60 and your legs have been feeling like strangers, stiff, swollen, heavy, it's easy to believe that nothing can change. But your body is still responding to what you give it. Every time you trade a salty snack for a handful of pistachios, swap a sugary dessert for a bowl of watermelon and papaya, sip bone broth instead of soda, choose steamed spinach over a second helping of bread, you're quietly sending your legs a different message. I'm going to support you now. I'm going to give you the materials you need. Will food fix everything overnight? Of course not. But step by step, meal by meal, you can. Help your body release extra fluid, gently support circulation, and feed the collagen that keeps you moving, walking, and living with more ease. If you'd like more videos like this, where we break down what's really going on in your body and how to support it with real food, let me know in the comments. Which of these foods do you already eat? Which one are you curious to try first? Your experiences might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to take their first step. Thank you for spending this time with me, and thank your legs for carrying you through life so far. Let's keep giving them reasons to keep going.